콘텐츠 거래 시장인 부산 콘텐츠 마켓이 3년 만에 대면 행사로 개막합니다. 오는 31일부터 사흘간 진행되며 전 세계 35개국 600여 개 업체의 국내외 바이어들이 참가해 다양한 프로그램을 선보일 예정입니다.
The Busan Content Market, Asia's largest broadcasting and video content trading market, will open as an in-person event for the first time in 3 years. Taking place for 3 days from the 31st, more than 600 domestic and foreign buyers from 35 countries will present diverse programs.
광안리 M 드론 라이트쇼 특별 공연이 오는 27일 오후 8시 광안리 해변에서 열립니다. 수영구는 투표를 통해 지난해 4월부터 진행한 드론쇼 중 5가지 콘텐츠를 선정했으며 드론 1,500대를 동원해 다시 선보일 예정입니다.
A special performance of the Gwangali M Drone Light Show will open at 8 p.m. this Saturday at Gwangali Beach. Among the weekly shows presented since last April, Suyong District chose 5 aerial arrangements through a poll to be recreated using 1,500 drones.
에어부산은 6월 호국 보훈의 달을 맞아 국가 유공자와 유족을 대상으로 국내선 30%의 특별 할인을 제공합니다.
For Patriots and Veterans Month in June, Air Busan will offer a 30% special discount on domestic flights to persons of national merit and bereaved families.
부산지방 내일 아침 기온 16도, 낮 최고 기온 23도로 예상됩니다. 부산의 현재 기온 20도입니다.
Expect a morning low of 16 degrees Celsius tomorrow with afternoon highs of 23 degrees Celsius. Temperatures in Busan are currently averaging at 20 degrees Celsius. It's time to wrap up this hour's news. I'm Christino.
홍정호였습니다.
Thank you for joining. You're listening to BFM 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM 부산영어방송.
9년 전 한국에서의 새로운 출발을 위해 부산을 처음 찾은 프랭크. 부산의 자연과 사람, 부산에서 누리는 모든 것을 사랑하는 그는 부산의 변함없는 한대에 늘 감탄합니다.
I think that Busan people are actually very, very kind and very welcoming. If I seemed a little lost, there was always someone that was there to ask me if I needed help. They're more seriously friendly than it's very serious. I very seriously want to help you.
부산의 한결같은 모습도 늘 감동을 주지만 이제는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어 나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Laura McLucky and Min-Soo Shin. BFM 부산영어방송.
Hello. Are you excited?
Very
For
excited.
Nuri, the rocket launch today. Well, if everything goes as planned, Nuri Ho will blast off into space at 6:24 p.m.
Yes, which is very soon. The
But-
countdown to the countdown has begun.
But not today.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Sad.
yeah, it is sad. We're very excited for it
It was
still.
supposed to be today.
Yeah, right.
But it's not.
So, with a successful launch, if it is successful indeed, it would verify our country's capability to operate a space vehicle to carry a payload satellite into target orbit.
Yes, indeed. So today's, well, there was no launch today, but it was a little disappointing that it didn't launch. But,
그래도.
It's going to take us one step forward.
Yeah.
And we're going to see what's what.
Yeah.
And
Right.
we're just going to, blast off into space.
Don't worry, the future is bright when it comes to our space industry.
Turning magical, I mean she'd say everything you want to dream away. We are legends every day. That's what she told me. Turning magical, to me she'd say everything you want to dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight. We are diamonds, and I feel my heart beating. I feel my heart underneath my skin. I feel my heart beating. You make me feel like I'm alive again. Said I can't go on, not in this way. I'm a dreamer, die by light of day. Gonna hold up high, the sky and say, only I own it. And I feel my heart beating. I feel my heart underneath my skin. Oh, I can feel my heart beating. 'Cause you make me feel like I'm alive again. Alive again. Oh, you make me feel like I'm alive again. Turning magical, and you she'd say everything you want to dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight, we are diamonds taking shape. We are diamonds taking shape.
Why does Coldplay always have like these little parts of the song where just, listeners just want to like, sing along with? What's the other one? Like, Not living La Vida Loca. What's the song am I
I don't
thinking
know.
about?
I'm too busy sending you hate across the, not hate, just like playful jibes on YouTube.
Oh yeah, listeners, if you're used to us not being on YouTube on Wednesdays, well, lucky you, we're on YouTube today. Right?
We are.
So yeah, log on if you're listening to us on the radio, that's fine too, but we are on our YouTubes. And me and Laura are having a little fight over the internets, okay? But that only happens on the internet. Whatever happens on the internet stays on the internet.
That's true.
It never
it's like Las
transfers
Vegas.
over here to the studio, right?
It's true.
We're all fun times here. Well, hello everybody and happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. It is, of course, Wednesday, the 24th of May. You're tuned in to Inside Out Busan. I'm Laura McCluckey.
And I'm Min Soo Shin. A good evening to you all. So, as we've mentioned in the opening, we're very excited. I want to say like around this time yesterday, right, of the Nuri rocket launch that was supposed to happen, but unfortunately it was delayed due to technical issues.
Sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Well, if you remember in June last year, Korea, our country, had successfully launched the space rocket Nuri in its second attempt to put satellites into orbit, right?
Yeah, it was really fun. Did you watch? I watched it live from here, actually.
Yeah, I think we were both here.
That's my rocket launching noise.
That sounds like a really old car trying really hard to take off
No,
too.
it's like it's when you listen from a distance. Because it's so far away, but it sounds like fire.
근데 방금 우리 아빠 코 고는 소리였는데.
No. You can't do it. You can't do it. The Korea has secured this key independent technology for developing and also for launching space rockets carrying homegrown satellites, which opens up a new era in the country's space program.
Yeah. So listeners, if you're not excited for space launches that our country is putting on, well, you should be, because this means a lot for our country, for our government, especially when it comes to our economy. The global aerospace industry is expected to continue expanding with a predicted value of $1 trillion.
$1 trillion.
By the year 2040. Now, South Korea's aerospace sector may soon emerge as a new money-making business.
I knew I should have got into a different business.
Yeah.
$1 trillion.
See,
I'll
we
take
should all apply for NASA.
Yeah. Well, too little,
No
too
regrets.
late, I guess.
No regrets.
But it'll also be an opportunity to advance the dream and the hope of our people, of course, especially our young generations, off into space. And not today, but hopefully in the near future.
Do we always have to 그게 계속 언급해야 돼요?
아니,
It's
그건
exciting.
아니고.
Space rocket, Nuri rocket. 근데 오늘 it didn't happen.
그건 아니고. But the thing is, I'm glad it didn't happen today. Because if it had happened today, it may not have been the success that it could be.
Sure.
So this is the thing. Yeah, of course I
Right.
want to see it. But not
see,
today.
Yeah, you could see it as an extra day earned for more preparations.
Exactly.
right?
So Christine's going to tell us a bit more about that in just a few. Anyway, I'm very excited about it.
Very excited, and the reason why
The reason why
I'm so excited is, as kids, and I mentioned this to this before, like as kids, like we'd be, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, I want to be a doctor, a policeman, or an astronaut. And we're like, oh, sure, like some of them's very doable. Yeah, astronaut, keep dreaming, kid, right? But these days, if a kid were to say, I want to be an astronaut, it was like, well, that's very much possible these days, right?
Or you can just be a millionaire and Jeff Bezos will sell you a ticket
Oh, yeah.
to space.
Right? Or you could be, all you got to do is just be a member of Big Bang.
Yeah.
And then you could go to space.
Yeah. That was all. I was very confused at how he chose the people to go up into space.
This isn't
Very
just
interesting.
Yeah, it's another person in Japan that chose the Big Bang member, not Jeff
맞아요.
Bezos. I don't know if Jeff Bezos knows who Big Bang is.
But anyway, Nuri-ho! Oh, in fact, let's just get to news bites. So
Yeah, because we want to hear the
Christine.
details,
Yes.
right? Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. it's time for News Bites. Christine's in the studio. Hi, Christine.
Hello.
I almost said, hi, News Bites.
I'm News Bites.
We have News Bites in the studio delivering us Christine. Hello, News. How are you doing
Sometimes I
today?
bring real bites. You know, I bring a lot of food in here.
Oh, you
hungry.
do, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's all good. It's not like we're expecting it every time. But we do want to start off with the big news of the day, right?
Yeah, let's start with Nuriho. Our producer is like, why didn't I get a drawing today?
Oh,
No, she's just telling us to do it.
Oh, okay.
You want the drawing? You can draw.
Yeah.
You can draw a drawing. When was the last time you gave Christine a drawing? Yeah.
that's true, right? Or
Oh,
Christine, you
wow.
could do the news while you're drawing.
Yeah.
How about that?
Or just we'll do the
I think
news.
so. I can do everything.
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
Wow. Well,
Let's-
give us Nuri first, and
Yeah.
then we'll see what the other
So
news is
let's
looking
talk
like.
about Nuriho. It, of course, was supposed to launch at 6:24 p.m. today, or they thought they were going to. Not supposed to, but they did find a technical glitch at around 3:30 p.m. this afternoon. According to a briefing this afternoon, while controlling a helium valve, officials found a communication problem between a launch control computer and a launch pad facility control computer. So it's a computer issue. The valve itself is okay, but the system could matter when the rocket eventually goes into automatic operation system.
I'm very much reminded of, I can't remember the title of the movie, but they're in this very important scene where stuff is happening in space,
Very descriptive.
and then like the Windows update window suddenly appears, like blocking like the whole thing. So I feel like that's not something that probably happened with Nuri, but very reminiscent of it. Now, why then? What's the update in terms of reschedule for the launch?
Yeah, so according to the launch management committee that looks over the entire process, they are holding a meeting on when to schedule the delay. They're thinking probably tomorrow, not today, but tomorrow. Now, delays are normal. If you look at the second launch of Nuri, there were actually two delays, one because of the weather and another because of the sensor malfunction, which of course helped with the success of the second launch in the end. And the launch time that they've set, the preliminary one, has been between May 25th and May 31st, which is a week from today. So we do have quite a bit of a window there as well.
Ooh, okay. So our government keeping all of us on the edge of our seats. We might actually see it happen by this month, right? The launch. You never
Maybe
know.
tomorrow. Maybe not.
Maybe, right? Maybe they
Hope
want
it's
to keep it a
tomorrow.
surprise.
I really want to see it. I was very excited to watch that live. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's hope they keep it the same time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can go on the air. Is what I'll
One
do.
small step. No. What's next?
No more
noise
snoring. Okay. Let's
See,
talk
even she
about
says it's snoring.
the yellow envelope bill. The opposition-controlled Parliamentary Labour Committee presented this contentious pro-Labour bill directly to a plenary session today. It passed this motion to refer the revision of the Trade Union and Labour Relations Adjustment Act to be directly sent to the plenary session. Now, this revision that we call the Yellow Envelope Bill would strictly restrict filing damage suits against striking workers. It would guarantee bargaining rights of indirectly employed workers and also ban suing for damages by companies when they do have these rallies and protests by labor unions.
I'm curious. Why is it called the Yellow Envelope Bill?
Yeah, so this controversial bill, it goes back to 2009. Unionized workers of Ssangyong Motor actually staged a high-profile strike because of a massive layoff. And 5 years later, the top court, the Supreme Court, declared the strike is illegal or was illegal and ordered the workers to retroactively pay 4.7 billion won to compensate not only the company but also the state.
Wow.
So a number of the civic activists and citizens at the time, they started giving out yellow envelopes containing 47,000 won in donations to support these workers and also raising the need to amend the trade union law to help striking workers.
Okay, so then why is this bill so controversial?
Yeah, so the other side of this is the ruling People Power Party and business lobbies. They've opposed the pro-labor bill, saying that this gives excessive immunity to unionized workers and would only promote illegal strikes.
Okay.
And speaking of illegal strikes, just today, the government and the ruling party also agreed to review the possibility of disallowing downtown rallies by organizations that have a history of unlawful acts as well.
Okay, so tell us a bit more then about the government's plan.
So they not only want to ban rallies by organizations with illegal histories, but also restrict downtown rallies and demonstrations during commuting hours. And they want to legislate a ban on overnight rallies between midnight and 6 a.m. as well. And also fix the police manuals to help deal better with anything illegal happening during the rallies.
Right.
Yeah, this decision follows President Yoon Suk-yeol's criticism of the Korean Construction Workers Union for staging an overnight rally in Seoul last week to protest labor policies by the government.
Well, I mean, I understand that the workers want their rights to be able to strike. I don't understand much about Korean labour laws. However, I certainly hope that, you know, everyone comes to a good agreement and, you know, the workers get what they need and etc.
Right. I guess, you know, decision that will smooth things over for both sides. Very much needed. What's next?
Let's briefly talk about a raid over the former spy chiefs Park Ji-won and Seo Hoon by police, looking into allegations of illegal meddling in hiring decisions. Now, both of these suspects, they were the heads of the National Intelligence Service, one after the other, during the previous Moon Jae-in government.
All right. So tell us more about this investigation.
Yeah, so they're suspected of misusing their authority to secure employment for individuals personally connected with them at an affiliate organization to the NIS. And the spy agency actually found out about these hirings in a recent internal inspection of personnel affairs, and they sent it to the police for an investigation.
All right. Well, once again, the main message that I think every government organization especially should have is transparency.
Transparency, please.
Right.
All right, let's move on to the next story.
Let's talk about some heartbreaking news about the last known Taiwanese so-called comfort woman from World War II. She has died at the age of 92. According to activists in her country, the woman who did not wish to be named died earlier this month on May 10th. And the Taipei Women's Rescue Foundation said that her family had permitted the news of her death to be known after they held a private funeral.
It's always, it's a special kind of sadness when one of the victims of wartime sexual slavery passes away, because it's just, you know, there's so much still in the process of getting justice for all the victims. What else did the group say?
They made a statement saying that we will continue to keep records of the comfort women and hope the truth about sexual violence does not disappear with their deaths. They also added, we will continue to demand that the Japanese government apologize and compensate these women and their families. Now, the historical grievance has long been a sore spot in Japan's relations, not just with Korea, but as you can see, Taiwan and other neighboring countries as well.
Yeah. And is there an estimate on the actual number of victims from Japan's wartime sexual slavery?
Yeah, so between 1932 and 1945, activists estimate 200,000 people from around the world have, who were in occupied territories, were forced into sexual slavery at the Japanese Army's wartime brothels. This included about 2,000 women in Taiwan. And the Taipei Women's Rescue Foundation found 59 of the survivors locally after they made a hotline back in 1992. So already there weren't a lot of survivors left. And there were also women coming not just from Korea, but also China, the Philippines, and other areas.
Yeah. Yeah, very sad.
Yeah, and sad in a sense that, you know, of course, you know, over the years we've had women here in Korea passing away, and now we have a number of more women around the world passing away, and they don't have this closure, you know, that themselves, even their families, you know, would get if, like, you know, a side were to say that, with like apologies, right, being, called for. So, yeah, I think this is, of course, not something that only our country faces, but, around people from around the world.
Yeah, and I think that's why advocacy and keeping their stories alive is really important as well.
Indeed. We have time for one more bit of news.
So some good news, starting tomorrow, the number of disaster text alerts will be reduced so that only people living within the relevant 읍, 면, or 동 areas will receive messages pertaining to their area. So this is different because right now we get texts based on the city or district that you're in. So if a fire breaks out in, let's say, Udong, then messages asking residents to evacuate will only be sent to people living within Udong, not Busan or Haeundae district. So it's much more specific. It will really greatly reduce the number of texts that you will be getting, but it may be sent to neighboring 읍면 or 동 areas as well because of some issues with the transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do I have to talk to, get those messages that, like say I was in Haeundae district maybe like 2 hours ago, and then I'm back home, I don't know, like in like Chungdong, like Chunggu or something later on, and then I get a message of something happening in Haeundae like 2-3 hours after, because I was there for like just a moment, right? So I think text messages like this, they're going to have to continue to improve and work on. But yeah, it looks like they're taking steps to do so.
That's right. So this program, they've worked on it for about a year to improve. So hopefully we see better improvements in the future.
All right, Christine, that'll do it for today's News Bites. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
She's on my mind, she's on my mind.
All right, let's have a song. This is JP Cooper, She's on My Mind.
I can't sleep at night, 'cause she ain't by my side.
I've seen a lot of pretty faces, ain't nobody like you. And I've never had a love like the one we knew. Tell me why I had to play the clown, always messing around. I can't stop thinking how I let you down, down, down. She's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind. I can't sleep at night, 'cause she ain't by my side. She's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind. I can't sleep at night, 'cause she ain't by my side.
I can't sleep at night, 'cause she ain't by my side.
My friends say that she's a keeper, but I let her go. Didn't know how much I need her till I was on my own. I've been drinking, but the truth won't drown. No, the truth won't drown. Bad medicine won't go down, down, down. She's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind. I can't sleep at night, 'cause she ain't by my side. She's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind. I can't sleep at night, 'cause she ain't by my side. Ooh, the cover's over. If I could dream, I'd hold you. Can't stop thinking, am I even on your mind? Now the nights are cold, I miss you on my shoulder, miss your hair on my cheek every night.
She's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind. I can't sleep at night, 'cause she ain't by my side.
She's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind. I can't sleep at night, on my mind. She's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind. I can't sleep at night, on my mind. Pull the covers over, miss you on my shoulder, miss your hair on my cheek every night. She's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind, she's on my mind. I can't sleep at night, 'cause she ain't by my side.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the show.
So says Laura McLucky on our YouTubes.
Yeah, it's 6:33 on the clock. Welcome to Inside Out Busan. It's Wednesday. I'm Laura McLucky.
And I'm Min Soo Shin. Happy Wednesday to all of our listeners on the radio and everybody watching on our YouTube. Our YouTube chat being very lively between a Laura and a me, Min Soo, it seems like, in the chats.
Yeah, we're just
싸우고
fighting
있습니다.
on there.
Yeah. I think it's because we can't really fight in the studio and when we're live that we do it on the internet.
It's more fun.
Yeah, it is more fun.
It's more fun with an audience.
네. But we do have other people chiming in. We have 오겹살 조아님 saying 아니 두 분 여기서 이러지 마세요. 죄송합니다. 네.
죄송해요.
스튜디오에서 못해서요.
맞아요.
We also have Super Party Pooper님 saying sup y'all. Sup Pooper님.
Yes, y'all. I like that, y'all. 희숙님 texting in, good evening. I feel bad for them. 네, 맞습니다.
Wait, who do we feel bad for?
Comfort women, I think.
Ah, okay. All right. That's right. Commenting on the news that Christine shared with us,
Yeah.
right?
And we've got lots of people texting in on, what do you call it? There's one person who texts in on the app comment, like everything. Very interesting. 사랑돼요. 사랑 더.
사랑돼요 23님.
Yeah. Is it 돼요?
더. 사랑 더.
사랑 더.
사랑 더 23.
님. Good evening. Good evening.
And a hi to you.
Let's get into it.
Yes.
Weather.
찌찌뽕.
찌찌뽕. The mercury level is currently averaging 19 degrees Celsius. Morning lows of 16, afternoon highs of 23. Lots of clouds tomorrow. Ozone levels will be high as well. So let's try to walk, bike, carpool, or use public transportation to reduce ozone levels. 작가님, I like this. 내일 부산은 구름이 많겠고요. 그래서 enjoy the cloudy sky. I don't know. 또 오존 농도는 나쁨 수준을 보이겠습니다.
Watch out for that, right? Watch out for that ozone. Onto our traffic, we have congestion on 구만덕로 from Mandok Junction going towards Mandok Tunnel numero 1. Also congestion on Yunsan Tunnel from 해동동 going towards 부곡 Interchange. Slow-moving traffic on 백양대로 from 진양 Junction going towards 진양 Interchange. And we have two reports of accidents. We have a two-car collision on 수영 강변대로 from 광안대교 towards 수영 강변 underpass, and another two-car collision on the Name Express from Daejeon Interchange going towards Busan. So everybody,
Drive safe.
네.
All right, time for the IOB 5분 상식. It's time for the IOB 5분 상식, getting you in the know with some of the most trending, useful, and need-to-know words and expressions in the world. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간이죠.
네, 오늘은요 기후 위기가 만든 신조어 바다 콧물에 대해 알아보도록 하겠습니다.
Good evening. I'm Laura McLucky from IOB News. We're currently covering a bizarre phenomenon known as sea snot. We'll cross live to our intrepid reporter, Min Soo. What's happening out there?
I'm standing at the edge of the Marmara Sea here in Turkey, and it's covered in this thick green viscous sea snot. Oh, look at this. 녹색 점성 물질들이 가득합니다. This is sea snot. 이게 모두 바다 콧물입니다. It's a thick gelatinous substance.
Oh my, that sounds disgusting. Anyway, is this real? Is the sea actually experiencing a runny nose? 바다가 콧물을 흘린다고요. Min-soo, we need first-hand experience. Our viewers want to see the real deal.
뭐? 바다 콧물에 들어가는 거래요? No, I'm scared.
기자 정신 몰라. Go ahead, get in the sea snot. We are responsible for solving viewers' curiosity. We're all curious, Min-soo. Tell us more about this sea snot viscosity.
All right, because I'm a true reporter, I'll try it. Oh, it's so gross. Oh, I'm getting deeper. Oh, it's like a swamp. 늪 같아요. I'm sinking into the swampy sea snot. Help! I can't believe I'm saying this, but please send a lifeguard. Or a ladder or something.
Well, there you have it, folks. Minsu, our brave reporter, fighting the forces of nature. We will remember you forever.
I'm not dead yet. Help me. I can be saved. Help. 왜 이렇게 빨리 포기해요?
I'm sitting here on my chair in the studio.
I know.
It's a long way to go.
Must be pretty nice to have
tired.
people's lives
I've had a busy week.
on the strings, right?
Already.
That's controlled in the studio. 기자님들 모두 다 수고하십니다.
수고하셨습니다.
네. All right, sea snot. 바다 콧물. 이게 무엇입니까?
It's a slimy layer of green sludge formed when algae are overloaded with nutrients. It's called sea snot. It's thick, gelatinous organic matter found around the world's oceans and lately observed in the Mediterranean Sea. Now, the mucilage was first documented in Turkey's waters in 2007. And when algae are overloaded with nutrients as a result of water pollution and climate change, it begins to create this thick and slimy layer on the surface of the water.
I like that word, mucilage.
Mucilage.
I'm going to remember that. Now, why is this mucilage a problem?
Yeah, because as sludge covers the surface of the water and it sinks beneath the waves to blanket the seabed, right? So it sucks up oxygen that's in the water, which creates dead zones that suffocate marine life and threaten the region's ecosystems. So sea snot can attract other microorganisms like viruses, also bacteria, including the potentially deadly E. coli, which can harm sea creatures and also any swimmers in the area.
Yeah. I mean, anything with the name snot, not probably the best thing.
Snot the best thing.
Yes, not the best thing. We have on our YouTubes 우리 토끼님 saying OMG. Is he dead?
배홍권님, wow, Minsu's acting is amazing.
병우님,
진짜?
감사합니다.
진짜?
You are welcome.
Yeah, I was convinced too.
You were convinced I was dead, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's just me doing my job. Alright, 오늘의 5분 상식 바다 콧물, sea snot. 이거는요, 식물 플랑크톤이 지나치게 많이 번식해 바다의 표면이 끈적한 녹색의 점액, 물질로 덮이는 현상이라고 합니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 교회종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 그 라디오라도 좀.
그래, 라디오.
네가 저번 주 13인 것 같네.
22번 훈련병!
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간, 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us here. It's time for Up Close with Tegan. Tegan's in the studio, loving herself on camera.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, Tegan. I think, is this your first time being on our YouTubes?
Maybe first time here, but this is not my first rodeo on camera.
Of course, right? But because Tegan is an exclusive reporter to Inside Out Busan, right? This is your debut.
Yay!
On
Minsu
YouTube
looks
on
so
Inside
small.
Busan.
Look how small Minsu looks.
I know.
Like
Finally.
a tiny little Minsu.
They finally got my email saying I look too big, so they scoot the camera all the way in the back.
I have like a good side though. Actually, no. This is my good side.
Okay.
No. One side is better than the other.
Well, find it while we're doing the show, and we'll understand if you're just looking at one of us the entire time.
Just turn your face. You just do.
Oh, it is. It's what on whatever is on Laura's right now. That's my good side, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay.
So stare at Laura the whole time then,
Okay.
doing the show. All right, Tegan, where are you taking us today?
All right, so you guys were there actually, but I didn't see you, Minsu, but I saw Laura. I'm taking us to the global gathering.
Ah.
Yes. Yeah, so this is an event that goes on every year. This was actually the 18th annual Global Gathering.
Wow.
And it's been held at a variety of different destinations or locations, I should say. This year it was held at Centum City here at the Cinema Center.
Yeah.
This is my favorite location, to be honest.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about having it at the Cinema Center?
It was great. It was undercover.
Yeah.
There was a big space. I loved it.
I mean, if I had any complaints, if the Cinema Center was only closer to our radio station, that
Only-
would probably
'cause
put
it's-
the icing on the
It
cake.
takes about 5 minutes to walk.
Yeah.
It does. So
I'm that
3 minutes
lazy.
would be optimal. Yeah.
And Tegan, I was there, but I think we were there early. You were there for all like the booths and stuff, right?
I went at 2 p.m. So you guys were there what time?
We
11?
were there. Yeah, we were there since like 9:30,
Oh,
9:40.
and you guys did a live show there, right?
Yeah, we did.
Ooh, I
That was
missed
fun
that.
times.
But actually, I heard the opening ceremony started at 1, so I decided to get there at 2. I thought there'd be more people and the action would be going on. And I also trained a reporter with me. So if you guys saw me
Ooh.
walking around with a lovely Korean woman, that is going to be a new reporter for BEFM.
Oh.
So, yeah, so I was there. If you guys don't know what Global Gathering is, this is actually a big festival, a multicultural festival held in Busan. It's supposed to be a way to show communication and harmonize people from all around the world and combine all the cultures and just celebrate that for all the foreigners and all the cultures here in Busan.
Yeah, very meaningful event, I think.
Yeah. So I went there, as I said, at 2 o'clock, and you guys were already there. But I wanted to ask our listeners, did you guys head to Global Gathering? Maybe you saw me there, or maybe you saw Laura or Minsu, and let us know if you went and send us some pictures in at pound 9050 or send us a message on Kakao Talk. And let's take a listen as I talk to someone who was modeling or they're a photo prop at Global Gathering.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
All right, you've been on BEFM before, but introduce yourself once again.
Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm from Busan, or from the United States. I've been in Busan for about 12 years now.
All right, tell everyone what you're doing here at Global Gathering.
Well, I am a Global Gathering supporter, and today I'm a costume supporter, so I'm wearing a cowboy costume and going around and taking pictures of anybody who would like to have one.
Oh, so you're a photo prop.
Pretty much, that's what it is. Just going around trying to spread some, happiness and some cheer by, when people see me going, oh, look, that's kind of cool.
And how do you feel about this Global Gathering? Have you been to one before, and how does it compare?
Oh, I love the Busan Global Gathering. I've tried to come at least for an hour or two every single year. There's always something to see. Lots of people gathering from different cultures, different embassies representing their countries, different organizations that are just around Busan helping keep the beaches clean, help making people relax, helping with just living in Busan. So it's great to be here.
All right, well, go be a prop. I hope you get used a lot and enjoy your time at the Global Gathering.
All right, thank you very much.
Hi, Chris.
I think I saw the group that he was walking around
Yeah.
with. It was like what's that ride from in Disneyland? Where they have people from. It's a small world.
It's a small world after all.
right? Yeah, walking around, but yeah, good times.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Is that ride still going on? That's one of the most famous
Yeah.
ones.
I think so.
So it's a ride that has all the different cultures, all the people from all around the world, and you go
And
on
they
like a
have
little
that
boat.
Pretty much.
Awful song on
Yeah.
repeat. The boat doesn't go fast enough.
Well, how many people were? I mean, I'm sure. I don't know if you have the exact numbers, but were there a lot of people?
There were tons of people when I was there, and I don't know you guys, but did you see any other people that were walking around as like photo props, as models?
I saw a lot of people in costume, so I didn't know if they were photo props or they were just like hanging out in costume, but there was so many vibrant costumes from all around the world.
Yeah. Let me ask you. I wasn't there long enough to see if they did anything. What about the group of people in the cat costumes?
There was a cat
Oh, they were from
costumes?
Japan.
Uh-huh.
They were like a group, specifically a group from Japan to do a performance.
Oh, so they did do a performance.
I think so.
Okay.
I was at a booth. I had a booth at the Global Gathering.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I don't know.
That's right,
Laura
Laura's
was busy working.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was so
and
exhausted.
I didn't have the patience to stick around.
Yeah. I wanted to eat more food, but I didn't manage to eat more food.
아, 맞다. 거기 음식 진짜 많았잖아요.
Yeah, there's a lot of food and there's a lot of people. Yeah, Laura has her yoga booth there, so you guys can go and find out about that. And she has kids yoga. They had all these cool contraptions there too.
Yeah.
And by the way, this event is actually hosted by the Busan Metropolitan Government. So I want to say thank you, Busan. I think this is a really great event.
고맙습니다. 진짜 좋은
Yes.
행사입니다.
And organized by Busan International Exchange Foundation, Busan Immigration and Foreign Affairs Agency, and Cultural Welfare Sympathy. So there is a lot of people that put this together, and actually being represented at the event were 82 organizations from 32 countries.
Wow.
So a lot of representation from all over the world. Yeah. And actually, when I was there, I got to talk to someone. I think this person is Korean, but representing foreign organizations. So let's take a listen and hear what they had to say. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Seokbong.
Oh, and tell me, what are you doing here at Global Gathering? Global Gathering에서 뭐 하고 있어요?
커피 내려주고 있어요, 저희.
Oh, and tell me about 여기 booth 뭐예요?
여기는 지금 아프리카 영화제 행사 부스인데요. 아프리카 영화제라든가 아프리카 영화제가 지금 여기 6월 14일까지 열리게 되는데 이 영화 보시는 분들에게 이런 커피가 있다는 것도 소개시켜드리고 있고 지금 아프리카 커피만 그래서 내려드리고 있습니다.
Wow, very great. So you're associated with the Africa Film Festival that's actually going on right now as well, and you're also serving coffee. This is Africa coffee?
Yeah, here.
Can I try it, or is it free, or do we pay money?
You can do it.
Free?
Yeah, free. Just
Okay,
free.
great. Can I try some Africa coffee?
Do you want hot or ice?
Ice, I guess, if possible. Wow, so this is great. And also they have here, you can follow the Africa Film Festival on Instagram at Africa Film Festival and the KA Foundation. Wow. Okay. All right, so I'm ready to try the coffee. Okay, is this the coffee right here?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of coffee is this?
Kenya Shiru AA.
Okay, and what is the flavor?
You feel like high acidity tomato. Aftertaste, you feel like the cacao.
Okay, let me give a taste to it. So I'm gonna try the coffee right now. Oh yeah, it does have a tomato flavor to it. Okay, all right. This is the first time I tasted tomato flavored coffee.
You have a nice time.
All right, thank you so much. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
They love that.
Tomato flavored coffee.
It's weird, right? But it had I guess it's the acidity of the coffee.
Yeah.
You know, coffee has like the undertones like wine.
맞아요.
Yeah.
Right. Kenya 맛있죠.
Yeah, my son the other day was eating grapes. He said, "Mommy, I can't eat these." I was like, "Why?" It's like tastes like tomato. I was like, "What are you talking about, fool?" And I picked it up and I bit it, and it was really tomatoey. I was like, "That's so weird." So yeah, tomatoes are everywhere.
Even grapes have tomato.
Even grapes are tomatoes.
맞아요.
And you were saying, Minsu, when we were listening, that you did try a lot of food there? Or?
I mean, no, I wanted to, but lines were long, and my daughter did not have the patience for them. Right?
What was your daughter enjoying at the festival?
The cat people, the painting on the face.
Oh yeah, they had
what
face
Boogie was there too, right?
Boogie.
Or a version of Boogie was there, but I wanted to try the taquitos and the tacos.
You didn't get to try anything.
I didn't try anything.
I only did the coffee. Laura, did you try any food?
I had some Uzbekistan food. It was delicious.
맛있겠다.
Rice with some bread.
Oh, 맛있겠다.
Oh, it was really good. Wasn't big enough portions.
Ah.
I wanted more.
Was it free or was it like a small charge?
It was free for me. Somebody else bought it. I ate it.
Oh,
So yes, it was free.
that's the
But
best.
it did cost money, yeah.
The best kind of free, right?
Yeah. And normally, you guys, the place I mostly dread going to in Busan is the immigration office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they actually, I guess they're trying to up their image and help out the citizens this time. So actually, I talked to someone who was working at a booth related to the immigration office. So let's take a listen and hear what they had to say. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. My name is An.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Where are you from?
I'm from Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yes.
How long have you been in Busan?
3 years, I think.
Wow. Okay, you're here, and it looks like there is the Busan Immigration Office. Busan 출입국 외국 인청 맞아요?
Yeah, 맞아.
And tell about the game going on. 여기에서 game 조금 설명해 주세요. What is the game?
The game is you have 5 chances to throw to the board. We have the tiger face, and if you get three inside the hole, then you win the game.
Wow. Okay, so it's like a hacky sack game where you throw inside of the mouth of this dragon.
The mouth and the head is.
Wow. Okay, the mouth or the head. All right. Oh, and if you win, what is the prize?
The prize is a cup of coffee.
Wow. Very cool. All right.
right. What do you think about this kind of program having at the global gathering?
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting event so that the global citizen can gather around and sharing their experience and culture. I think it's a very good occasion for us in Busan.
Do you like living here in Busan? Do you like Busan?
I like a lot, yeah.
Why?
Because the atmosphere, the people, and also the infrastructure is very good.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
I love it.
Nice.
I love the atmosphere of that clip.
Yeah.
Oh, you could hear in the background there's a performance
Music
going on.
right?
So the whole time I was there were different performances, people dress up in doing dances, singing, all these events. So there was also a big main stage.
Yeah.
And I think it's perfect. How cool it would be to perform on that stage.
Yeah.
Fun.
Did you guys were you doing your live show on the stage?
Yes.
We were on that stage.
And we had performances as well, right? Live performances of musicians here in Busan. So fun times. Shout out to Busan Immigration as well. Taegan, did you get to talk to any other people from booths there?
Yeah, I did. So the last one we're going to listen to, you guys, I went over to this Nigerian booth. They were full of energy, so let's hear what they had to say.
Hello, Sasani.
All right. So what's your name?
안녕하세요. My name is Franklin.
Okay. All right. So you are here at the Busan Global Gathering. Explain. What are you doing here?
We are here to experience our multicultural.
Enjoy the festival?
Enjoy the festival, like meet people, meet so many countries you've never heard of before, and have fun.
And where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. So it looks like here at the Nigerian booth. Tell me what you have going on here.
Well, we have sweet potato. We have akara, the bean cake. We have pop-off, which is so sweet. You like it.
So these are traditional Nigerian food.
Yes, and we have the popular Nigerian food we call the jollof rice.
Ah!
This one is the best.
This is the one I've heard about a lot.
Yeah, jollof rice, the moi moi, and the chicken.
All right, this is the drum zone too. Okay, let me hear the drum zone. Let's hear.
I want to jaggeto, everybody jaggeto.
Looking at you funny.
Everybody jaggeto.
I wanna be his friend.
He was fun. And they were doing like hair braiding over there. They actually showed me all the traditional clothes. And I got my own private performance. So yeah, great to be there.
Yeah, and the dish he mentioned, jollof rice.
Okay,
it's a West African dish made of long rice, tomatoes, onions, spices, and vegetables, and meat in a single pot. Oh, 맛있겠다. And I missed out on all of that.
Yeah.
That day. Aw. But the atmosphere, lively, lovely people, lovely shows and performances and booths. It was a great time out, I think, in general.
Yeah. And I just want to say, you guys come out this weekend on Saturday to the Mung Derigi Daehwae, the Space Out competition, and try to find me. Just see if you guys can find me. I'll tell you one clue. I'm going to be in camouflage.
Yes.
I might look like the sand, okay? And vote for me. I need some love. So go out there and support me.
Vote for Taegan.
Yeah. The one who's in camouflage is the key.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you gotta try. You gotta squint a little bit to point out Taegan, right?
Yeah, it'll be 4 p.m. at Haeundae Beach if you guys want to come out, and you can also see the Sand Festival there too.
Nice. Yeah. Well, good luck to you, Taegan. We'll hear about it next week.
Yeah, we
with
will.
you, right? And we'll see you in the next season.
Yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday. See you then.
Thanks, Taegan. Bye
Bye.
bye. All right, we will see you at 7 o'clock. In the meantime, this is If I Knew by Bruno Mars.
I wouldn't have done all the things that I have done if I knew one day you'd come. Now, baby, now, baby, now, baby, now, baby. Oh, oh, oh. I know it breaks your heart to picture the only one you wanna love in someone else.
지그재그로 움직인대.
누가?
척추 라인에 맞춰서 움직인대.
누가?
누구긴 누가 엔모션 프로지. 척추를 지그재그로 틀어 꾹꾹 눌러주는 움직임. 누가의 시그니처 모션. 누가 베스트 엔모션 프로. 가까운 누가페에서 만나요. 의료기기 광고입니다.
Hello, this is Busan Immigration Office. Have you heard of Korea Immigration and Integration Program?
What is the KIIP?
The Korea Immigration and Integration Program, KIIP, is a social integration training program by the Ministry of Justice to help immigrants adjust to life in South Korean society. It helps them develop basic knowledge of the Korean culture, language, and understanding Korean society, among others.
Ah, so is this a Korean language education for foreign nationals?
The KIIP is comprised of not only Korean language and cultural education, but also of programs on understanding Korean society. Immigrants can learn basic knowledge across the entire Korean society through this program.
That's interesting. Are there any other bonuses to completing the KIIP?
There are multiple benefits for those who complete the program, including exemptions from permanent or citizen naturalization tests and bonus points for residence permits.
Well, I'd better hurry up and go sign up. Thanks for the information.
For details, please visit www.socinet.go.kr. This was brought to you by Busan Immigration Office and BFM 부산영어방송.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. 로라 민수의 인사이드 아웃 부산.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us here. It is the second half of Inside Out Busan. I'm Laura McCluskey.
And I'm Insu Shin. Yes, thank you so much for joining us. So Tegan, with her clip of one of the Nigerian booths talking about they had jollof rice available, right? So I looked up jollof rice online, and the picture of it, I was like, that's jambalaya. And I did a little bit more, and everybody's saying, yes, they are one and the same. And this reminded me of like this really good jambalaya place I used to go back home in Oakland. Ribs and jambalaya. Oh my gosh. It was heaven.
You're
Every time I
bogarting the
went.
mic to talk about food.
Yeah.
We should be talking about my life, my English.
We do. That is
Very
important as well. That is important.
But food is more important.
But as important.
As important. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Well, listen, when you get home, you need to eat something yummy.
I do.
Think
Well,
about
let's
it.
get to today's My Life, My English because it is Wednesday, right? I don't want to take anybody's thunder away.
It is, and this is when Annie brings a guest into the studio to talk about their English language learning journey. So let's see who's on the mic today.
Hello everyone, this is IOB's weekly segment, My Life, My English. I'm Annie입니다, and this week we have our guest here in the studio. Hello.
Hello.
All right, can you please tell us a bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Yusun Choi. I have an English name, so you can call me Jenny. I work as a professional convention organizer, so it is called a business event planner in the States. I am a mother of two kids, and they are in 4th and 3rd grade, so I am working mom. I lived in Busan for 3 years. It's a nice and awesome city, so I enjoyed living near the ocean. My hobbies, I like reading books and going to library once a week is my everyday routine with my
wow.
kids.
Very 모범적. That's very nice. It's very nice to meet you, Jenny. So let's get started. How did you get to know BEFM?
Well, listening to English channels are my morning routine as well. So I have tried many channels. So I somehow found this channel. So I am very interested in English education for my kids. So this program, provide a great number of opportunities for kids.
And that's fantastic. We have had a couple of parents on My Life, My English before who, really want to focus on English for their children, which I think is great. You're a great role model for them, right?
Thank you.
Okay, so do you have any experience living overseas? And if you do you have any fun stories that you could tell us?
Actually, not a fun story, but I had a hospitality internship program in the States 18 months when I was in university. It was very, very long time ago. At the time, I was like a very beginning level of speaking, but it was very helpful to communicate with the people from the different countries. And after I got married, my husband was a postdoctoral researcher at Cancer Center in Houston for 4 years. So I was a kind of driver.
Right.
I dropped my kids and my husband up, and I picked them up mostly. So going to church every Tuesday was, just the only time that I hung out with my friends and just had the English class. And not a fun story, but I have an episode with regard to English intonation when I was in Canada. There was a coffee shop, and I ordered, "Can I have cappuccino?" But they didn't understand. I tried several times, but they didn't, even understand. And the staff said to me, "Do you mean cappuccino?" With the intonation. So I realized that intonation and accent are also very important. Speaking English.
Okay, so you got to live in Canada as well. Cappuccino, though. Can you say it one more time?
Can I have a cappuccino? So
I think I can understand that. But yes, thank you so much for sharing those stories. Do you have any proud moments as an English speaker? Like being able to speak English was great. At what moment?
Right now, I'm so honored to be here. But anyways, I can communicate in English. So whenever I watch clips on NoTube, I can pretty much understand. And also, I can read English books to my kids every night. And also, as a working professional conference organizer, I have had many chances to meet people from different countries or just organize conference with the clients. So communicating, in English is very crucial in my life.
That's really cool. So you use it not just at work, but also in your daily life, I guess,
Yes.
right? With your kids reading books. They probably look up to you, I would think, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
So maybe you could share with our listeners English learning hacks.
Well, I listen to English channels every day, so also speaking on the phone with an English tutor once a week is very helpful. It only takes 20 minutes, but I reviewed what I did today, and I listened to the file again, so write down the useful sentence.
I think learning English is up to you.
Yeah, that's
Right.
exactly, yeah.
Just hearing you say, "Oh yeah, I review what I did afterwards." When I was a student, I didn't do that. So you are definitely on the right path, I should
Yeah,
say.
and also participating in this event, motivate me to study English too. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming here. My Life, My English won't happen without our participants. I can't interview myself and talk to myself. So thank you for applying and coming in today. Also, just to round it out, do you want to share any of your goals for your life? It can be English or just work.
Well, I would like to improve my communication skill in English and work in different countries as a business event planner. That's my goal.
I think that's a great goal. Business event planning. Is that like corporate parties?
Like international conference.
Yeah,
I organize an international conference and events and
Oh, that makes sense. Makes sense why your English is so good. All right. Well, I wish you all the luck for your English, for your children as well, all aspects of your life. Thank you so much for coming into the studio today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to Annie, first of all, for that lovely interview, and to Tae-Yusan-nim for her interview and letting us know all about her life.
Yeah, so working as a professional convention organizer,
PCO.
a PCO. Sounds very professional, right? And she
PCO
is.
to the PIP to the PMC to the blah, 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 blah.
Is that an actual song?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
It's just a song.
So sharing with us, I think she shared with us like her routine, when it comes to like her working on her English. And I think that's so important, having a routine, because, we talk about routines quite often here on our show. When you do your me time, having a sleep routine, a wake up routine, during the day routine. even when it comes to English. I think it's not just all about studying through a book or listening to like clips and whatnot.
It's really not. You've got to be able to adapt. You've got to be able to get your English learning, not just English learning, but every kind of learning. You've got to be able to get it in all different kinds of places, and different kinds of sources. So having a nice routine is a really good way to maintain practice. And it doesn't need to be books and studying like that. It can be, radio.
Yeah. So, Yusa님 doing a very good job, I think. And of course, because her profession calls on, being able to communicate in English, I think she's in a pretty good atmosphere and environment to continue to improve her English.
맞습니다.
Yeah. So, thank you so much to our reporter Annie and to you, Miss Che Yusa님. Thank you. Today's My Life, My English.
My Life, My English. If you want to be on My Life, My English, if you have a story about the way you've learned English, or maybe you just want to learn more, all you need to do is get in touch and we can invite you into the studio and you can be part of our show here at Inside Out Busan. Pound 9050, 샵 9050, which is 101, or Kakao Talk, which is absolutely free.
네, 감사합니다.
All right, let's have a song. This is John Legend and Sam Smith, Lay Me Down.
Yes, I do. I believe that one day I will be where I was, right there, right next to you. And it's hard, the days just seem so dark. The moon and the stars are nothing without you. Your touch, your skin, where do I begin? No words can explain the way I'm missing you tonight. This emptiness, this hole that I'm inside. These tears, they tell their own story. Told me not to cry when you were gone. But the feeling's overwhelming. It's much too strong. Can I lay by your side next to you? And make sure you're alright. I'll take care of you. I don't want to be here if I can't be with you tonight. I'm reaching out to you. Can you hear my call? Boy, this hurt that I've been through, I'm missing you like crazy. Can I lay by your side next to you? And make sure you're alright. I'll take care of you. Now I don't want to be here if I can't be with you tonight. Oh, lay me down tonight. Lay me by your side. Well, lay me down tonight. Lay me by your side. Can I lay by your side next to you?
완전 똑같다. 완전 똑같아.
Same.
Right? Yeah.
Welcome back. Sorry, I just had to swallow the duck that was in my mouth.
Oh, is that why you gave the mic to me first?
Heian brought us some duck.
Yeah. Duck.
진짜 상쾌하다. 너무 맛있다.
진짜 맛있어요.
감사합니다.
말이에요. So Heian going to be joining us for her segment very soon. 네. So, but it's a good and sad day, I guess, for us here on Inside Out, because this is the last. I don't think we mentioned this. This is the last week of the current segment here at BFM.
Yeah, next week is the new season.
Season, yes. So starting next week, there will be lots of changes, to shows here at BFM, especially on our show.
Yeah.
New segments, new faces, and unfortunately goodbyes to current faces.
Goodbye, my lover.
네.
Goodbye, my friend. Would you like go on?
No, you could stop there.
Okay.
Yeah. What's in that duck?
Weather.
Aaron brought us duck.
Let's look at the weather. It's currently averaging 19 degrees Celsius here in Busan. Morning lows of 16, afternoon highs of 23 degrees Celsius tomorrow. Lots of clouds tomorrow, strong sunshine will beam down, however, which will boost UV rays from high to very high in Busan tomorrow. So do please keep your sunglasses and hat at the ready to protect yourself from the sunlight. Of course, stay hydrated, wear sunscreen. 내일 부산은 구름이 많겠고 자외선도 매우 강하겠습니다. 그래서 여러분 조심하세요.
네. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion on Name Express from Bukbusan Tollgate towards Mandak Interchange. Also congestion on Saesangno from Busan Jingu Office Junction going towards Puham Junction. Slow-moving traffic on Nakdong Namlo from Hagwon Bridge towards Hadang Junction. And there's another report of an accident. A two-car and a truck collision on Nakdong Pungno from Gupodaegyo going towards Gupodaegyo Junction. Everybody,
drive safe.
부탁드립니다.
네. All right, let's get straight into it. Let's spend way too long chit-chatting with Hea. It's the last segment.
HYP, PCM. Yeah.
Hiya. Thank you for this amazing gift. You're so sweet.
And just the icing on the cake is what I assume to be letters, personal letters for each of us.
Look at this guy.
Just a little thank you card.
And Laura just has totally her eyes just set on the food that's included, right? And she's eating.
와, 되게 맛있다 이거.
아니, 지금 뭐냐면 음식이니까 먹어야 되잖아요.
먹으면서 해요. Well, how kismet is it that for my last PCM I get to be on the live stream?
그래 말이에요.
So yes, here's my face. Hello, IOB fam. I've been chatting, on the YouTube chat chain for a while with you all, so it's good to see you.
Yeah.
And so you guys, it's been 6 months since I first set foot into the IOB studio.
I can't believe it's been
crazy.
6 months.
It doesn't feel. It feels like way less than that.
길다면 길고 짧다면 짧은 시간인데
네.
for that time we broke down a lot of pop culture content together, going down some memory lanes into our childhood. We did some 과몰입 together. We laughed, we kikied, and unfortunately, like you guys mentioned,
We did not kai. So we kikied.
We kikied, not kai-kai'd. And so, pop culture media will not continue next season, unfortunately. So I thought we could recap all of our months together.
Yes.
Going over some
stroll
memories.
down memory lane
Let's
before
do
our
it.
이별.
맞아요. So we started in the warm and fuzzy holiday spirits in December.
Really?
In December.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
And the theme of December, I think, was friendship and love. So I came in very strong, being obsessed with these new reality dating shows.
Oh, yeah.
That popped up again on my Dangflix. Singles Inferno. I was like,
They
no,
just
not
keep-
again.
Right? So we kind of broke down all the different flavors of these date 예능 shows. We mentioned that shows like 나는 솔로 is kind of your cinema verite of the K 직장인, and Singles Inferno is your popular 바캉스 romance fantasy. And yeah, it was proof that everybody loves storytelling with good, authentic, emotional arcs. 또 대리만족하기에 너무 좋은 건데
네.
Laura and I really try to get Minsu into watching these dating shows, and it's been 6 months.
Just one show.
Have you checked out any of these shows that we've been begging you to watch?
Unfortunately, no. It's because with the timing of your recommendations, I think that's when like Glory came out, right?
Listen,
excuses.
Don't have to threaten you with a good time sitting around watching TV. So there's no excuse to say, oh, I had other things to watch. There was plenty of time to watch Singles Inferno, at least one episode.
Yeah. And also everyone in the chat, please try to convince Minsu to get in on it. Tell him why it's so fun and satisfying.
Well, speaking of people on the chat, we have 쿠쿠야님 saying 반가워요, 혜연.
반가워요. Yeah. And we also, in December, looked at some 찐친들, some friends in real life, celebrity friendships. There was the Queen of Jazz, Ella Fitzgerald, and the actress Marilyn Monroe, who shared a very deep friendship. 그리고, and this was a surprise, the former President Kim Dae-jung and Michael Jackson.
That's right.
Had sort of a long-distance
That
friendship
one was
going
so
on.
random.
And like Michael Jackson, it came to his inauguration or something?
Yeah. Wearing this bright red blazer. And when we talked about that, we also learned that Laura was once compared to Michael Jackson when she once wore a red jacket.
Yeah.
Wait, was that like a listener chiming in or commenting?
No, it was like, teacher, you look like Michael Jackson. More.
Wait, was it a Thriller jacket?
Shaman. It was not.
And since then, I've learned that the British talk show host James Corden, who just wrapped up his show, The Late Night Show, he has been great friends with Adele for years.
Adele?
So is Minsu.
Can I get a last Adele before?
Adele, rolling in the deep, am I?
Oh, wait. I can't think of any other song.
Our brains just collectively froze.
Should I be chasing pavements?
Am I?
That's what we needed.
So that was December.
Yoda everything.
사랑과 우정.
맞아요.
I just kept saying titles of her songs, right?
and then we greeted 2023 in January. It was very out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah.
And what was very in the beginning of 2023 was the OTT series The Glory.
That's right.
정말 2023년 상반기 K-컬처는 더글로리를 얘기하지 않고서는 we can't really talk about it.
Yeah.
Now, Korean cinema already had this reputation for having a flair for revenge stories, so inspired sayings like, revenge is a dish best served Korean. And now 더글로리 has definitely joined that canon along with the Revenge trilogy of Park Chan-wook and films like 아저씨, I Saw the Devil. And I love that this one is a very female-centric story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since then, it's been great to see the actress Song Hye-kyo win some big awards for her work on that show. And in Thailand, for example, this show made a huge social impact. There was a hashtag called The Glory Thai, where people were sharing their stories of receiving or witnessing school bullying.
I think because this was this is an incredibly sensitive topic that is kind of unpacked in The Glory as much as it is a revenge story. Like the core of it is school bullying and very serious school bullying and school violence.
Yeah.
And I think that hit a nerve with so many people, and that's why so many people love to watch it. But it also raised the profile of school bullying kind of nationwide here, and I think across the world, to some extent. And we saw some new legislation come out pretty recently after The Glory was out, didn't we?
Yeah, after it's probably not just because of The Glory. It's probably
but it made an
laws
impact. Yeah.
laws that were already in talks.
Yeah.
But after a student graduates for a number of years, any incidents of bullying stays on their record, right? Going into college or even after that.
Yeah.
So I think it really highlighted, put in the spotlight the social issue of bullying in schools here in Korea.
Definitely. And during January, we also went over some predictions that were made 100 years ago by some scientists and sociologists. That was a little funny. Some of them were spot on and others not so much.
What were the ones that like they just had it totally wrong?
Some of them thought that people would live well beyond 200 years.
Oh yeah.
Which we're not quite there.
Not quite there yet, but I see it coming.
I mean, you and I will be. You and I, not just like one
All of
person
us.
in here, like, but the collective you and I.
You know something I know,
We'll, we'll live till we're 200.
They also did say women will probably be shaving their heads and men will be wearing curls.
Escándalo.
Scandalous, concerned voice of gender expression. That's kind of become
You
true.
see that happening.
I mean, what do you say? Shall we try to make some predictions for 100 years from now?
Yeah.
I'll
100
start.
years from now,
Yeah.
yes.
I think we're going to be communicating through telepathy and the movement of our eyes.
Oh yeah.
So maybe we don't even need vocal cords.
I think
believe
we're
it.
going to have webbed feet.
I was going to say, I think we're going to get our gills back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the climate
Because it's going to Waterworld again. Waterworld was a predictor of the future.
and
Waterworld. So are we going to be urinating into like a pot and then it comes out as water like 2 minutes later?
No,
Because that's the only scene of Waterworld that I remember.
That's not what. That's not what happens.
That's a very small part of that movie. That's interesting. That's what stayed with
But
you.
the smokers will be on the water, pirating the seas.
Yeah.
And we'll have our webbed feet, and we'll go down to the. We'll meet
know.
Kevin Costner. It'll be.
Hale got super
terrifying.
excited to hear the fact
did
the
get
news
really
that
excited about
we're gonna get our
Waterworld.
gills back.
Webbed feet and fingers. My goodness.
Yeah, that's it. That's what's happening.
Now on to February. February was an oldie but a goodie. We talked about some long-running TV and radio programs and also discussed the representation of older adults in pop culture. So the FM radio show that's been on air for 53 years, 별이 빛나는 밤에.
네.
We talked about that show. And I thought it was interesting, Minsu, you shared how you had access to FM radio when you were in the military.
Yeah, used to listen to it a lot during my, like the guard duties,
Yeah.
right, that I had late at night. But yeah, radio, has been just a part of my life for a very long time, and
To all of us.
yeah, definitely.
How old is IOB? How long?
Since the radio started, I think.
Since BFM started. You mean the history of radio,
Since
right?
radio began. Hello, guys.
In
We're here.
1901, when we
all-
first hit the radio waves, instead of Busan was there.
Definitely. So IOB is, I would consider it a 장수 program. And yeah, I hope that it just keeps on going on until the day we all have webbed feet and gills.
And meet Kevin Costner underwater.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because after the show, we could just dive into the water.
Swim home.
Yeah, swim
Yeah.
home, right?
Yeah.
Or swim under
Underwater.
into the reefs. Yes.
So yeah, right now we were doing 보이는 라디오, and most of the radio shows are live streamed these days. But 라떼는 말이야, the auditory intimacy that was so special, and I miss it sometimes. Yeah.
It's like they're only talking to you, right? Like whispering in your ear.
And you really get to focus on everybody's like the pauses, the breath. Yeah.
Oh, that's creepy. Come on.
And
거기까지.
거기까지. And also, as we know, the pop culture landscape can be quite youth obsessed and ageist. And we talked about the importance of the representation of older adults in original and refreshing ways, not just as the sidekicks of the young main characters.
Yes.
Now, question to you all: How do we want to grow? How do you guys want to grow old? Like, what kind of old person do you want to become?
I just want to be able to move around. I think. I guess, an active old person.
Mobile and
Yeah.
active.
Yeah.
Important.
Okay, so this may or may not surprise you. Definitely won't surprise you. I want to be the kind of like old person who is like pretending to be the daughtery old lady, but actually knows exactly what she's doing. And it's like, oh, I don't know. Oh, I dropped my bag here. Oh, and then someone bends down to pick it up and I trip them up or something. Like, I want to be that old lady.
You mean a 사기꾼?
The
Mischievous.
No, just mischievous. I want to be the old person that is doing like. I saw this video of a grandma, and the girl who made the video was like, when your grandma asks you to get in on her stupid prank, you say yes. And the grandma had taken all these sticky eyeballs and she'd gone to the shops and everything.
Oh, and then glue them onto like
every
pictures, right?
label that had a face on it, she stuck the sticky eyeballs
googly
on
eyes.
The googly eyes. And so I want to be that kind of old person.
Oh, I want to do that. Like there are days where I want to play pranks kind of on a more bigger scale that goes beyond my mom. The poor mom. I'm just pranking on her at least twice a day. So when I'm older, I think I'll have more guts to just do it to everyone and anyone.
But as you get older, you just stop caring.
Right.
But I feel like if you grow to be that kind of old person, like we're seeing a video of you being like knocked to the ground, like being put in handcuffs by like mall security or something.
I'm going to be a very gentle old lady.
Yeah.
With a taser.
The gentle trickster.
그때 가서 봅시다.
네. Now, as spring started in March, we dove into comedy and ballad songs. Remember that? So we talked about stand-up comedy, which is a relatively new form of live performance in Korea. But it's really starting to thrive, especially after so many young Korean comedians started creating independent work through stand-up comedy on YouTube after their shows like 개그 콘서트 got canceled.
Yeah. What's the recent one? They just had James Gunn and Chris Pratt on.
피식 University.
That's so crazy how that YouTube show has grown so much that it's now world recognized, and it's one of those shows that if you want to, let everybody in Korea know that this is me and this is what I do, that's the show you have to go on.
It's the new hip show.
It's the new 무한도전 kind of.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's so crazy.
For those who don't know, 피식 University is a YouTube channel where comedians started doing sketches, skits, but now they have this bilingual English and Korean talk show where they invite guests, and it's very it's in the form of the very American talk show.
Yeah, they first started out with just like 교포 musicians here in Korea. Now they expanded to like James Gunn and Chris Pratt. Like obviously because they're promoting Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's so crazy.
And
isn't
they've been
it?
getting some mainstream recognition too with big awards recently. Yeah, and there was a week where we did some fun renditions of ballad K-pop songs and pop songs from the 80s and 90s. So we went over some lyrics and had some takeaways. Some of them were.
Hey, the reason why I'm laughing is because the only thing, not the only thing, I'll remember many things, but the one thing that'll stand out the most is you when we were talking about, those old sappy love songs,
where
goodbye
you're
songs.
like begging your lover to not go.
When you were breaking up with your boyfriend,
oh my goodness.
you told him to lock you inside the veranda so
that had a janky lock, so I knew that it would take exactly 4.5 minutes to shake it open, and so I knew I wasn't going to be stuck in there, but I knew it was going to give him some time
while he walks away
to run away from me. 날 떠나지 마.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
I will remember that story forever.
Yeah, that was a TMI confession that came out.
It's not TMI. It's exactly the right amount of information.
So we realized that some of these lyrics from the 80s and 90s were kind of creepy because it seemed like people were having some boundary issues, like not respecting what the partner wants and just really getting indulgent. But I think those indulgent, romantical, melancholic moments will always be music to our ears, right?
It's definitely a part of my growing up, I think. Like the ballads, from the 80s and 90s, both, from America or English songs as well as Korean songs, right?
I have a question though. Why is it when you go to the norebang with your husband, specifically my husband, but also my other male friends of a certain age, they sing like this?
You know who we could thank for that? I think there's a number of artists that sing like that, but
they sing well
but
like
Kim
that.
Dong-yeol is like this very very stable voice. I blame it on Park Hyo-shin.
I agree.
Listen to Park Hyo-shin. Maybe our producer will even play a Park Hyo-shin song. Right?
Is it like this?
Park Hyo-shin is like the most professional sounding that voice that you just did.
See, that's the thing. Nobody can actually copy it when you're in the norebang.
That's why it's so unique, and that's why everybody tries to do it.
Yeah, it's this forced vibrato, but it's very grandiose.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Now,
because I don't like it as well.
Let's recap our April.
네.
April was all about representation. We had a week where we talked about different stories with Korean characters from all around the world. And it made me realize that the Korean diaspora, it's so wide and vast, complex, because we're not a monolith. We're so many things. Koreans can come in many different shapes and forms. We can be mixed race. We can be adopted. We can be queer. And all of these, also, people of different skin color, like being raised in Korea and living in Korea, that's also become an important part of our stories.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful that there's a hunger for these stories and there's more being produced. 그리고 그때 제가 소개하지 못한 영화가 있는데요.
네.
There's a film called Spa Night. It's a coming-of-age story about a Korean teenager who starts working at a 목욕탕 in a Los Angeles, Koreatown area.
Oh.
It's directed by Korean-American director Andrew An and stars Jo Seo, who you might recognize from the OTT series Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, he plays Kyler Park.
From Karate Kid, right?
Yeah. You can watch it on an OTT platform as well, so check it out. And also in honor of 장애인의 날, the Day of People with Disabilities, we discussed disability representation in pop culture and went over different kind of stories where these days more folks with disabilities, they've become the main creator of these projects and having more agency in telling their stories. Yeah. So, I love all the talks that we had.
It's been a whole roller coaster of awesome pop
Talked about
culture.
so many things.
Yeah,
we did.
Now that, I remember each and every one of them. I can't believe we talked about so much.
I know.
Right?
And I know the segment is called Pop Culture Media, so people might have expected, the very up-to-date, hot and sizzling cultural content, but I think it ended up being more old culture content. I don't know if that's just because of who I am and the chemistry that we had, but I really loved going through all these older.
But I feel like these days, to us, because it might have been from our time, but I feel like, the things from our time is being retroed again these days. That we see not only in fashion, but, references on TV, in movies. I don't know why Furbies came out. Are you seeing Furbies these days?
Not these days, but it popped into my head.
I grew up on Furbies too. Yeah, I grew up on Furbies too. But I think, you know how they say trends, they come full circle, they come around again. And then you see that from like the 80s, we see it these days, 90s, we also see it these days. So I feel like even though we talk of the old, it's still very relevant today.
And just like that, Waterworld will also make a comeback.
You just can't
But
wait
in
to get
real
those
life,
deals, right?
not just the movie, in real life. So many people hated that movie, and everyone's like, nah, not really. Let me tell you, one of my friends, Paul Harper, who I started the radio with way back in the day in Scotland, he now works in Canada on radio. He has, sorry, Paul, he has got just normal feet, but then see the 엄지발가락 and then the two toes in between. So it would be like the peace fingers, except on the foot. They're kind of webbed. So instead of
Some
going
folks have that.
shoop, shoop, it goes shoop, shoop. And eventually it's going to be one toe. With his bloodline, I guess. I don't know anyone else who has that kind of webbed feet. And then eventually we're going to have all that together everywhere.
Yeah, because if you look at your hands as well as your feet, there's that
Sorry,
little
Paul.
flap of skin between the fingers, right? That
gonna
you
get
can't
bigger.
really tell. Are we still fading away from
coming back,
or is it coming back?
Yeah, it's coming
right?
All I can say is the human body is amazing and marvelous, as Dr. Liu teaches us every Tuesday.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Eat well, sleep well, poop well.
And into the month of May.
Yes.
Haeyeon.
So this May, the month of family, we went down memory lane once again and reminisced media that was about our mothers, fathers, and teachers.
Yeah.
And the story that is going to stick with me forever is the story of Minsu, your mother, packing for lunch. Just plain old hot dogs.
Well, thank goodness she knew that you had to grill the hot dogs, so they weren't
that
cooked.
wanted to make me cry because that is just the most. It's so lovely what our parents do for us.
Yeah.
Whether parents by birth or otherwise, it's so lovely for what they do for us. To just try and fit into a culture that you don't know about in that situation, or do things that you don't know.
맞아요.
Like my mother-in-law making gambas for me.
맞아. But
진짜.
I did tell you that I ended up throwing up in the middle of class, right?
Because of those?
Because I ate just hot dogs,
Aw.
right? And as a kid, I don't know, because maybe it was my first time digesting hot dogs, it didn't sit right with my Korean
metabolism.
digestive system.
goodness. Yeah.
That's why I
What
yacked
age
in the
were
middle of class.
you?
Kindergarten. I had to be 5.
Do
5,
you
6.
do you like hot dogs now?
I love hot dogs still, so it's not
Yeah.
like a traumatic moment for me, but that's the thing I remember about hot dogs.
Fact of
Jack and
pop
Minsu.
culture. Hot dogs are great.
꼬마 친구 민수.
네.
It's making me get emotional thinking
know.
about you as a 5-year-old
Yeah.
puking in class.
Picking up hot dogs, right?
Aw.
Oh, but hey, we talked about so much.
Yeah, we went over time again,
네,
but this was
아니에요.
such a
Because
delight.
we like to do it.
Yeah. Hey, real quick before we say our goodbyes, do you want to maybe let our listeners know like any last words as well as
Yes.
like a tidbit of what you'll be doing from here on
Well,
out?
I'll still be around BFM, so you can catch me on the 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. news, and also every Friday morning on Morning Wave. So yeah, I'll still be around, and I hope that I can be back in your studio again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You will be.
Our doors are always open, right?
Peace.
We have more people saying, 우리 진이님 saying hello, nice to meet you. Obviously, it's a greeting to you. 진이님 saying, I also enjoyed watching The Glory.
맞아요.
우리 배영권님 saying, good to see you. And I think also again to 혜연님, a greeting, right?
Aw.
네. 혜연, it's been a blast.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you.
Thank
we'll see
you.
you around.
And thank you for these lovely
Yeah.
letters and gifts.
And
I've
I
eaten
will,
50% of mine already.
like I said on the first show, I really am a fan of IOB, so I'll be in the chats.
Please do.
Chiming in.
Thank you, and we're very appreciative of it. Ladies and gentlemen, we had 혜연님 for PCM.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye, 혜연.
All right. Can we have one more time? PCM, blah, blah, blah.
HYP at PCM.
I love it. Let's have a song. This is 야생화
이거 잘
by
들어, Laura, okay?
박효신.
하얗게 피어나 얼음꽃 하나가 달가운 바람에 얼굴을 내밀어 아무 말 못했던 이름도 몰랐던 지나간 날들의 눈물이 흘러 차가운 바람에 숨어있다 한 줄기 햇살에 몸 녹이다 그렇게 너는 또 한 번 내게 온다 좋았던 기억만 그리운 마음만 네가 떠나간 그 길 위에 이렇게 남아서 있다 잊혀질 만큼만 괜찮을 만큼만 눈물 머금고 기다린 떨림 끝에 다시 나를 비우리라 사랑은 피고 지는 다 버린 불꽃 빗물에 젖을까 두 눈을 감는다 어리고 작았던 나의 맘에 눈부시게 빛나던 추억 속에 그렇게 너를 또 한 번 불러본다 좋았던 기 나 떠나간 그 길 위에 이렇게 남아 서 있다 잊혀질 만큼만 괜찮을 만큼만 눈물 머금고 기다린 떨림 끝에 다시 나는 넌 메말라가는 땅 위에 온몸이 다 들어가고 내 손끝에 남은 너의 향기 흩어져 멀어져가는 너의 손이 붙잡지 못해 아프다 살아간 만큼만 미워했던 만큼만 먼 날 너를 데려다 줄게 봄이 오면 그날에 나 피우리라
안녕하세요. 차가운 도시남자 Inside Out Busan Rider Steve라고 합니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan's listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in Geojedong and Yeonsandong, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권을 받을 수 있습니다. A place to entertain your brain and eyes, Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. Museum of Illusion 부산 착시미술관 입장권. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee, whole beans, sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 Into Roastery 원두 커피. 커피 향 좋다. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan. Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. Admission tickets for the Busan Next to Sky top floor observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 넥스트 스카이 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. 저랑 같이 가실까요?
It's time for 호기심 천국.
호기심 천국.
천국국국국. This is where we hoagie your shims.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
And a lot of hoagies we got today, as
Hoagies.
always.
What is a hoagie?
Hoagie's a sandwich.
I've never had that. Is that an American thing?
It's an American thing, I think.
What is in it?
Just a lot of ham.
Oh.
A lot of ham on like just bread, like this tiny thing of like lettuce and like cheese, but a lot of ham. That's what a hoagie is.
I've heard about hoagies.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But not sandwiches we're talking about
That's
today,
not
right?
sandwiches. It's not. For any of our viewers right now, can you see my eyes? Can you see this?
Can you get a little closer?
Okay, let me get closer to the camera. You talk and I'll put my face right up there.
So, listeners, look more under her eyes, right? What do you see? The pigment of her skin is a little darker right under her eyes compared to the ones on her cheek. That's what we'll be focusing on today. We'll be talking about
호기심 천국.
네, dark circle.
Are people constantly asking you if you got enough sleep last night, even if you snoozed for solid 8 hours? Well, look alive. Today, we're going to talk about the science behind those dark circles under your eyes and all the things that might cause them, tiredness included. There's a simple reason those eye bags look all purplish. Just check out your wrists. If you can see the veins under your skin, they might look blue, even though the blood inside of them is red. That's because of the way that different wavelengths of light interact with your skin and your blood vessels. So more blue light is reflected back to our eyes. The area under your eyes appears darker because the skin is thinner there and doesn't have as much fat. That means that more tiny blood vessels can show through. People with darker skin have more pigment called melanin in their skin, and sometimes they produce extra melanin below their eyes, a condition called periorbital hyperpigmentation. So based on the thickness of your skin and genetics, you might be stuck with any dark circles you're born with, but there are some things you can do to make them worse. People usually blame their dark circles on tiredness, and there probably is a correlation. See, when you're tired or stressed, your body produces more of a hormone called cortisol to get more glucose into your bloodstream to give you the energy to stay awake. Over time, cortisol constricts some blood vessels and dilates others, so it's possible that the vessels under your eyes are a little bigger, which means darker eye circles. Another culprit is allergies or any sort of congestion. Allergic reactions can trigger your immune system to release these compounds called histamines, which cause blood vessels to dilate. Plus, itching and rubbing your eyes can make the puffiness worse. And unfortunately, as we get older, we lose even more fat underneath our skin, and it gets thinner, which means more darker circles. So the best things you can do: wear some sunscreen, take your allergy medicine, get a good night's rest, and try not to sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
호기심 천국.
천국, indeed. So while the clip was going on, I never realized, yes, it is true. The skin, like right under your eyes, is way softer than like the skin that's right under the skin of under your eyes, like the cheeks.
Softer, it's thinner.
Thinner. Yeah, I guess that's. Oh, so like and you know how blood is obviously in us and under our skin. So the way the light is refracting, whichever one they mention. So it's the color of, also it has to do with the pigmentation of like the blood under the skin that causes the darker coloring.
Yes, and so some people are born with dark circles, or some people do certain things to make their dark circles worse.
Yeah. Because
like me.
for like my daughter, 우리 딸이 밑에 다크서클이 좀 있어요. And because I always thought dark circles were caused by stress and, you know, too little sleep. But what does a 7-year-old have to be stressed about right now? And she gets plenty of sleep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, I mean, is it something that might be like off, you know, when it comes to her health? But I guess it's just sometimes, you know, it's just a natural thing.
Yeah. But sometimes not so natural. Well, I mean, it's natural. It's natural anyway. But there's certain things, like you heard in the clip, there's certain things you can do to make them worse. So what can you do to make them better?
Yeah.
Well, get lots of rest. Sleep enough. We talked about this the other day. South Koreans have, on a weekly basis, about 5 hours sleep deficit, don't they?
Yes, right. We have that sleep debt.
No. Is it 5 hours?
It was 5 hours something.
5 hours
on average.
Yeah.
And we're the worst, I think, amongst OECD countries when it comes to the amount of sleep that citizens get.
Yeah.
So dark circles is obviously a huge, like a daily like concern that a lot of people have, right? That's why, you know, people that put on makeup, they buy things like, isn't that what eye serum is supposed to do? It's kind of like supposed to like rejuvenate like the skin around your eyes.
I don't know.
Concealer. Concealer, like eye serum도 있거든요. I have no idea what that does. I'm gonna have to ask my wife. But it's like supposedly supposed to like revitalize. Like,
it does
the skin around your
revitalize.
eyes.
It does revitalize the skin, and what you can do is you can make your skin healthier in general. But of course, skin is an organ. So what happens to the skin is it will tell us, it'll give you telltale signs of what's going on inside the body on the outside. So if you're tired, you'll see that in someone's face. If somebody drank a lot of alcohol the night before, you can see that in their face the next day. If someone's a smoker, if someone's, I don't know, high stress, if someone's been crying, we can see all of those signs through our skin, and especially on our face. So what we need to do is look after ourselves.
Yeah. look after ourselves. And I guess, because here in Korea, it's such an issue because we're so quick to comment on how a person looks, right?
Oh, 너무 피곤해 보여.
맞아요.
That's all I hear these days. And I want to say, yeah.
She can't say it on air, obviously, right?
I can't say it. I can't even mouth it because I've got a camera at my face. But it's just really, it's kind of upsetting as well, especially as a mother of 2 children, one of whom is 8 months old, 8.5 months old, plus doing all the things that we do on a daily basis. Everyone's busy. Saying to someone, oh, 너무 피곤해 보여.
네.
Oh, you look so tired. Really? I look tired? Oh my gosh, I don't feel tired, not at all. And I just want to be like, of course I'm tired, but don't say that to somebody.
Sure, right. But I guess, also when you hear it enough, it kind of makes you go, I mean, do I look tired? Right? Yeah. So, obviously it's not something that makes people comfortable being told that, oh, you look tired all the time, right? But it could also be like a wake-up call, maybe an alarm. Oh, maybe I should get myself checked out. Maybe I should be getting some rest, right?
Yeah, but listen, if you're going to say to someone else that they look tired, make sure that you do it with love. Make sure that it's not like you just want to bring up the fact that someone looks tired and looks pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Like, do it with love. Laura, this is me because I care for you and I'm concerned, but you look like hot garbage right now. Is that okay then?
If it's from you, that's fine. Because I don't care about your opinion.
I knew it.
I knew it. But, be kind in your words. Be kind in your words. People are having a tough time. Everyone's tired.
And we're getting the cue to say this is
Stop
it.
talking.
딱 거기까지.
It's time for us to say cheerio for today. We will see you back here tomorrow. In the meantime, today's show produced by Cho Yun-jin, written by Im Soo-jin, hosted by Laura McCluskey.
And me, Min Soo-shin.
Yep. Final song today, Midnight City, M83. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Waiting for a door. Night city grows. Look, I see your
부산을 한 장의 사진에 담는다면 어디로 가야 할까요? 꼬꼬마 시절 이때만큼은 세상을 내려다보며 꿈을 키웠고 용돈을 모아 산 사진기는 아직도 서랍 속에 있습니다. 시간이 흘러 키는 자라고 사진은 어디서든 찍을 수 있는 세상. 부산의 진짜 모습을 보기 위해서는 같이 가볼 곳이 있습니다. 광복동에서 부산을 내려다보며 우리와 함께 해온 그곳. 새롭게 불을 밝힌 다이아몬드 타워와 함께 용두산 공원이 우리를 다시 찾아왔습니다. 북한과 남항, 멀리 남구와 해운대까지 부산을 한눈에 담을 수 있는 그곳. 알록달록 꽃시계와 함께